I still remember the first moment I felt it. A tension so faint I almost ignored it. It was a Tuesday evening in Charlotte, North Carolina, the kind of quiet night where nothing dramatic is supposed to happen. I stepped into the living room and saw Emily sitting on the couch, her face illuminated by the glow of her phone. She was laughing, but not the warm laugh I'd grown used to, not the soft one we shared over stupid videos or late-night jokes. No, this laugh was sharper, tighter, almost private. A laugh that excluded me. A laugh that told me she found something funny that I wasn't meant to understand. When she noticed me watching, she didn't stop. She just smirked. "What?" she said, flicking her eyes up with irritation. "You're overthinking again." That smirk stayed with me. It dug into me in ways I couldn't explain, echoing in moments I didn't expect. At first, I brushed it off. Work stress, maybe something with their friends, anything but what my gut whispered. But then, small things began stacking. She made comments about my clothes, my playlist, even the way I folded laundry. Things she used to love suddenly became laughable to her. Every suggestion I made, where to eat, what movie to watch, even when to take a walk, earned an eye roll so exaggerated it could have been theatrical. And every time I tried to explain how it made me feel, she'd tilt her head, sigh dramatically, and say, "You're being too sensitive. Relax." It wasn't just the words. It was the tone, the dismissal, the superiority in her voice that made me feel like I was slowly losing my place in my own home. Then came the quiet rebellion. She'd leave the front door unlocked, even though we lived near a busy street. She'd ignore simple things I asked for, like turning off the porch light or locking the back gate. She purposely blasted her favorite music at volumes that rattled my nerves after long days. It felt like she was marking territory, redefining the house, testing how far she could push me before I pushed back. But I didn't. I kept giving her grace because I still believed I knew her. Then everything shifted on a Sunday. I came home from picking up groceries. The house was still. The bedroom door was shut. Normally, she'd call out when she heard me come in, but there was nothing this time. I knocked lightly. No answer. A knot tightened in my stomach. I pushed the door open. There she was, sitting cross-legged on the bed, her phone angled toward her face. She jerked when she saw me, like she'd been caught stealing. She tossed the phone onto the nightstand a second too fast. "What were you doing?" I asked, calmly, even though my chest was tightening. "Nothing," she said, with that same dismissive smirk, her voice too light, too careful. But I'd already seen enough. The corner of her screen still glowing, a name on the chat thread I didn't recognize. And worse, flirty emojis, half-typed messages, and the kind of laughter I hadn't heard from her in months. Not with me, at least. My heart dropped. But I didn't yell, I didn't accuse. I just asked, "Who is he?" She froze. Then she laughed. Laughed like it was all some joke I wasn't smart enough to understand. "You're imagining things," she said, brushing me off. "It's not important. Don't make a thing out of nothing." Nothing. That word echoed in my skull. Nothing after weeks of coldness. Nothing after private jokes I wasn't a part of. Nothing after the emotional distance she built brick by brick. For the next few days, everything felt surreal. I tried talking. I tried calm questions. I tried friendship. Every attempt was met with exaggerated sighs, mocking chuckles, and lines like, "Wow, you're really insecure lately. Why are you so paranoid?" Maybe work on yourself instead of attacking me." She wasn't just hiding something. She was enjoying the game, enjoying watching me unravel, enjoying the imbalance of power she'd created. And that realization hurt more than any affair ever could. I began noticing every pattern clearly: her sudden need to guard her phone, her disappearing acts, the private midnight conversations she thought I couldn't hear. She wasn't just drifting away. She was pushing me, testing me, belittling me, and laughing while doing it. But somewhere in that mess, something inside me clicked. It wasn't loud. It wasn't angry. It wasn't even dramatic. It was quiet, dangerously quiet. I stopped asking questions, stopped checking her phone, stopped reacting to the mockery, stopped chasing after explanations that were never going to come from someone who enjoyed watching me question myself. Instead, I began reclaiming pieces of myself. I cleaned my desk and reorganized my things, the parts of the house she had gradually overtaken. I cooked meals I wanted, even when she sneered. I walked into rooms she silently claimed, holding my head higher each time. When she tried to provoke me with a smirk, I didn't flinch. When she tried to laugh at me, I stayed quiet. When she rolled her eyes, I didn't take the bait. She didn't know how to react to the version of me that wasn't bending anymore. Then came the moment she never expected. One Friday evening, I packed a small bag. She was sitting on the living room floor, engrossed in some conversation on her phone, smiling a little too brightly. Without anger, without announcement, I said, "I'm leaving for a few days." That was the first time in months I saw genuine emotion on her face. Confusion, fear, and the sudden realization that the power she had been enjoying was slipping away. When I came back, something had changed in me. I wasn't begging for her validation. I wasn't shrinking. I wasn't dancing around her moods. I wasn't afraid of her silence or her sharp tongue. The house felt mine again, not because I took it back by force, but because I took myself back. And that was enough. That night, when she tried to make another snide comment, I just looked at her. Not with anger, not with bitterness, but with an understanding she couldn't escape. It wasn't about revenge. It was about dignity. It was about refusing to be mocked in the one place I should have felt safe. It was about refusing to let someone chip away at my confidence until nothing was left. She asked me one night, almost timidly, "Can we just go back to normal?" I looked at her for a long moment and said, "There is no normal without respect." Her face changed. Something in her finally understood that the game was over. Not because she confessed, not because I exposed her, but because I stopped needing anything from her at all. Love can be messy. Love can be painful. But love without respect is a prison. And I refuse to be imprisoned in my own home. Do I still think about what we had? Yes. Do I still feel the ache of what we lost? Of course. But I feel something stronger than the heartbreak, the pride of reclaiming my dignity, the peace of choosing myself, the strength of finally walking out of the emotional fog she tried to trap me in. And that truth, that self-return, that clarity, it's worth more than the relationship ever was. If this story touched you, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who needs it, and comment your thoughts or lessons learned. Your engagement helps this community grow.